Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Real Positive Girl podcast with me, Sabrina. This is the show that's going to help you become your best self. And today we are talking about how to forgive others, let go of grudges, and unforgiveness. But before that, as always, I want to invite you to come say hi to me on Instagram. I'm at Sabrina Joy Perozzo. You're also welcome to follow me on TikTok at that same handle. All of that information is available for you down in the show notes. I would love to say hi from you. I would love to say hi to you. I am on TikTok a lot. I'm still on Instagram every day, but yeah, either way, just come say hi to me. You're welcome to send me an email at realpositivegirlpodcast@gmail.com. I am answering those emails every time they come in. There's also a survey down there for you to anonymously, like I will not know, to submit a topic suggestion for the podcast, which actually is what today, what we're talking about was actually someone suggesting this topic. So just so you know, I'm checking that survey every time I'm getting ideas and trying to write the show. And so go ahead and submit one down there. Again, it's anonymous. I will not know it's you. I will never know it's you. So just go ahead and do that if you are interested in doing so. Down there in the show notes is also a link to sign up for the weekly newsletter that goes out every single Monday. There's also a link to the Facebook community group if you'd like to join that. It's called Real Positive Girl Community, where I'm trying to go live every single week and boost up that community to chat and be a safe place for us all to talk and encourage each other. And then there's other stuff down there in the show notes. Take a look at it when you have a chance. But let's just go ahead and jump into today's episode, which again is how to forgive others, let go of grudges, and unforgiveness. So I am the queen of holding grudges. Not as much now, thankfully. I'm still working on it though. We are all works in progress, as I say often, but it's not as bad as it used to be, which gratefully, I am super grateful for that. But I would be holding on to grudges like so tight, like clenched fist tight, because I had this need for like justice and people being held accountable and knowing that they hurt me. I needed them to know, hey, you hurt me. I did not appreciate that. You need to check yourself before you wreck yourself. And I was just so upset about it. And sometimes now I struggle. That's like my biggest struggle with holding grudges is like not necessarily like holding on to like how badly I was hurt, but the fact that they got away with it or that they didn't realize that they hurt me or they did and they don't care. And I'm just like, dude, come on, have a heart. I would never act that way. And that's actually one of my, I wouldn't say toxic traits, but issues that I have where my expectations are projected onto other people. So I expect them to act the way that I do, which is wrong because it's unfair. Anyway, so if you struggle with that too, I'm here with you. Join the club. Um, but yeah, so I'm just so upset because people are not, there's no justice happening when there are wrongs against you. Sometimes there is, a lot of times there's not. But I needed them to know. I'm in pain. You hurt me. You dirty dog. How could you have done this? It's pretty ridiculous actually when I think back on it, how bad I was at this, how invested I was into making sure people knew when I was hurt. But when I think back on it, it's good. It's actually something good for me to reflect on because, I see how much I've actually grown from that. So it's not as bad, which is great. Pat on the back for me. So I've grown from those behaviors, but also it's a good reminder and a humbling experience of like, okay, well, we don't want to go back there. We don't want to fall back into those old behaviors. Let's not do that. And so today we are talking about how to forgive others, which again was actually a requested topic. So just check the show notes below to submit your anonymous topic suggestions. I need more topic suggestions. I sometimes struggle to be like, what do they want me to talk about? I am here for you, so please, please suggest some topics. Like I said, it's anonymous. No one will know. I will not know. I will never know. I have no idea who submitted this topic suggestion, but I'm here to do it and to, deliver what you have asked me for. So, okay, let's just jump into talking about forgiveness. Let's talk about what forgiveness is and what it's not, because I feel like that's an important distinction to understand before I go about giving tips on how to actually go through the process of forgiving someone. So forgiveness is a way for you, the person that feels hurt, to take your power back. Because holding on tight to the transgression that you are giving that person all the power, right? So you're like clenching tight to this transgression, this hurt, this pain that you're going through, but you're really giving them all the power. And The mindset that you have when you're giving them this power is controlling your emotions immensely and, leading you down paths to feel like you need to be filled with anger and distress and basically like you can't function in your emotions appropriately because you're so hurt. You are so, 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 so hurt. And that's why you have to forgive. That's why you have to let it go. So, forgiveness is a way for you to take your power back in that instance. It's also a choice for you to make. Forgiveness is a choice. You don't have to, like, straight up. You don't have to forgive them. You don't. I'm not saying you have to, but you'll be better off if you do. It's just like you can decide to follow the laws of the land that you live in. Like, I live in the US. Maybe you live in a different country. It doesn't really matter. You can decide to follow those laws or you can decide not to, right? And there will be consequences if you don't. And by not following those rules and those laws, you're living on the wild side and you are ready and open for those repercussions. And so there are repercussions for you when you decide not to forgive someone, which is really just ones that you're putting on yourself with all the pain and hurt that you're going to continue to endure and the stress that you're going to cause your mind. And your mental health might be kind of like up and down roller coaster more than it normally is. I'm just saying. But it is a choice. Forgiveness is an absolute choice. But you'll also be taking responsibility for your feelings when you decide to forgive someone because you are acknowledging that you are hurt or offended or like whatever the experience was. So, accepting how you feel about the situation will help you heal a lot sooner as opposed to just keeping it to yourself, not really thinking through how you felt about what they did, why you felt like you wanted to react that way, whether or not you would have had the same reaction like 6 months ago to a year. Did something happen recently, which is why this affected you so much? Like all of these things, really asking yourself these deep questions of like acknowledging how you feel and what's happening and taking responsibility for how you feel and how that is like driving your emotions. So forgiveness is accepting and honoring those feelings. And the biggest thing that forgiveness is it's for you. It's for you, not the person that hurt you at all whatsoever. I feel like a lot of people believe that forgiveness is for the other person, which, yeah, it's like a side benefit to them, especially if they know that you have forgiven them. But it's really about you. It allows you to move on and not get caught up in the pain, which I feel like we do imprison ourselves in because I understand. I've been, like I told you, I was the queen of grudges, okay? I understand. So there's no shame in here that you need to feel in regards to struggling to forgive people and hold on to grudges. I understand, which is why forgiveness is for you. It allows you to let go and just move on and not, terrorize yourself more than you already are. As for things that forgiveness is not, forgiveness is not some things that we might think that it is. It's not forgetting what happened. And I feel like this is a common one that most people know, but it's a good reminder because just because you decide to forgive someone does not mean you're going to forget. Doesn't mean it's going to wash the slate clean. I'm pretty sure the only person that has done that is Jesus. So, yeah, you don't have to forget, right? You don't have to forget that they hurt you badly, but you're no longer going to let it plague you. You're no longer going to let it cause you stress and pain. You're no longer going to ruminate over it and obsess over what happened. You're just choosing to move on. You're just choosing to move on and just move forward, which is great. Forgiveness is also not, listen to me. If you're watching on the YouTube, listen, look at my eyes. It is not an obligation to stay in a relationship with that person. Whether it is romantic or it's a friendship or whatever it is, you are not obligated to make amends with that person and continue that relationship if you don't want to. That's not what forgiveness means. You can forgive someone and be like, peace, I'm out. See ya. The last thing that forgiveness is it's not going to magically make you feel better, but it will help you to start healing. It kind of sucks, to be honest with you, that you can't just forgive someone and then be like, I'm healed. Everything is so much better. I feel amazing. I really wish that could be the thing. I guess you could choose that, right? Because as I say all the time, you are in charge of your emotions. You are welcome to feel how you want, whenever you want. You could just decide that I'm going to feel better, but I know that that is a hard challenge to take up, and I'm not saying that you have to. Anyway, before I get off on a tangent that's unnecessary, yeah, it's not going to magically make you feel better, but it will allow you to start healing and feeling better over a certain amount of time, however long it takes you to heal. So there are so many ways to look at forgiveness. Besides understanding like what forgiveness is and what it isn't, like very general ideas of it, which is great. But there's other ways to like think about it and understand it, and a few standard quotes that accompany the different perspectives. I have a favorite one, and then another one I want to share because I think that sometimes a quote, cliche or not, cheesy or not, it can be really helpful to remind yourself of like a mindset or a shift that you need to make and remember for you to like not lean so much into the negativity that can creep up in our lives. So, my favorite one is unforgiveness is like drinking poison but expecting someone else to die. So it's like you are continuing to ruminate and obsess over all the hurt and pain that you have gone through, and you think that by doing that, it will hurt the other person. By continuing to stay in that pain and maybe forcing them to see you in that pain and complaining about it and trying to control them and continue to hold that above their head, you think that that is going to hurt them when really it's just hurting you more because you're continuing to push yourself to feel all of these things over and over and over again, unnecessarily. Another good one that I saw was forgiveness is unlocking a door to set someone free and realizing you were the prisoner. I really like that one. I was like, oh my gosh, that's definitely number 2, my second favorite, because it's so good. Because like when you decide to forgive, you realize that you are letting go of like laying in the experience of that pain and hurt, and realize this whole time that you have decided not to forgive and move forward, you were holding yourself captive. And I feel like a lot of times with our emotions, we allow ourselves to be held captive because we don't realize that we could just like find our way out and move on and leave it behind us. We don't need to drag it everywhere. It's like excess baggage. You know what I mean? So those are really good ones. I don't know who wrote them. So I'm not saying that I did. I did not. I saw them on the internet. Actually, the first one was actually spoken to me. Unforgiveness is like drinking poison, but expecting someone else to die. I actually heard that. I think it was in a small group at church one time, and it stuck with me for a long time. And then the other one I actually just read when I was doing research. So, forgiveness is unlocking a door to set someone free and realizing you were the prisoner. And if you didn't catch that, or you don't want to like rewind, it's in the show notes below if you want to like have those and write them down somewhere. I would do that. I think it's great. So when you choose to hold a grudge, remember I'm the queen of grudges, and not forgive someone, you hold tight to that bitterness, the pain, resentment, and negative feelings, and replay those experiences in your head over and over and over again, which is only doubling down on the pain. You are causing yourself more pain. We are causing ourselves more pain unnecessarily just because, well, it's easy to do so, to be honest. But also, we just feel that pain so deeply, and we're like, they need to know. People need to know how I'm feeling. People need to know they can't treat me that way. No, don't do it. Sadly, not everyone's going to get that message. I'm telling you. They're not. You just have to decide to rise above it, which sucks. I'm the first one to tell you, if you haven't heard it in a while, it sucks. It sucks to be the bigger person because I think I had a meltdown like a couple weeks ago where I was like, I'm sick of being the bigger person. And I feel like this meltdown comes every single year because it's exhausting, especially if you find yourself around a lot of people that aren't. It's like, oh my gosh, seriously, you guys, can you just like get your life together so I can stop having to be the bigger person? That sounds so snooty. I'm sorry if it does. It's just, it's tough though. It's overwhelming. It's annoying. Let's be real. I'm here to be real. It's annoying. It's annoying. Anyway, but it is necessary. Because you don't want to like be holding tight to that grudge, that resentment, that bitterness for so long, because it's not helping you. It's not serving you in any way. You think it's serving you because you think it's going to cause them pain. It's not. Even if they do act like they're like, upset about it, it's still not. It's not doing what you think it is. It's not. And it's common to hold a grudge if you feel like the person that hurt you doesn't care how it affected you. That's like usually my biggest issue of why I hold a grudge. I'm like, oh, you don't care? You don't realize you hurt me? Oh, well, we'll see. We'll see how dramatic I can get, and then you'll see. That's usually for me. Maybe that's not for you, but that's for me. But yeah, you might hold it because they don't know how they affected you. They may never admit to the wrongdoing. That really sucks. Maybe you were embarrassed in the experience, or you don't have the proper coping mechanisms to move on from negative experiences like this. So negative coping mechanisms would be like drinking alcohol, hurting yourself, being really irresponsible with like your body, your money, your time, those kind of things. Positive coping mechanisms are more like take a walk, take a breather, call a friend, watch a show, play a game, pet a dog, something like that, right? It's very opposite ends for coping mechanisms. But yeah, all of these are like reasons, examples of why you would want to hold a grudge. But whether or not you tend to hold grudges often or not, it's important to realize that this isn't the way to feel better. It's not. It's really not. You might think it is. You might think that you are due to feel this and be like, you don't understand, it happens all the time, and I've finally come to the point where I'm going to hold a grudge this time. No. Try not to do it. I'm telling myself all that all the time. I'm like, oh my gosh. Just friggin' let it go. The cold shoulder, it's a lot of work, Sabrina. It's a lot of work. You're putting on a lot of dramatics when you're giving the cold shoulder. That's what I'm telling myself. That's what I told myself today. I wanted to hold a grudge, and I was just like, do we really have the time? The energy? It's giving a lot. Like, do less, God bless. Like, that's what I need to do. That's actually from a comedian, Trey Kennedy. He has like these shirts that say do less, God bless. Oh, I love them. Anyway, it's like one of his catchphrases. But I believe it. I believe in the phrase, do less, God bless. It's not going to make you feel better. And even if the other person, like I said before, feels really bad about what happened, continuing with the grudge is just to hold power over or like you're like continuing with holding that grudge just so you have power over the situation. It won't serve you for that long. At some point, the other person will move on and you'll be stuck in your pain. And whether they move on, they still feel bad, or they move on because they don't care anymore, or it's too much, it's suffocating, they need to move on. They decide to move on and move like away from you. You're still stuck there. You're still stuck there thinking, wow, I'm in pain. Wow, someone needs to, do something dramatic and big to make me feel better. And just so you know, again, I'm not mocking anyone. I'm right there. I'm right here with you guys. I promise. Today, I told you, even today, it was like, it took me like an hour to be like, okay, we're going to let this go. We're going to let it go. We're going to move on. Luckily, today was a therapy day, so that definitely helped. So it probably would have taken twice as long on a normal day, but it's fine. We got past it. As long as it's not going past like a day, like I'm not sleeping on it and then continuing to wake up with a grudge, I feel good. I feel good. I'm like, okay, we're going to let this go. We're going to be adults. We're going to, you're going to tap into that healthy mindset and we're going to be good anyway. But yeah, it's at some point they're going to move on and you're going to still be there in the pain. And that's not what you want. I know it's not. Fixated in on your pain when you can't heal. You can't learn anything from the experience either. You can't engage in forgiveness. It's just not going to happen. And you can't really do anything until you decide to take action. Will decide to forgive and then take action to move forward. And, maybe you're like, okay, Sabrina, I'm ready. I've had some issues with people holding grudges, very upset. I'm ready. Let's try to move forward. Well, if you aren't sure how to move forward and start to forgive someone, if you've decided to make that decision. You first have to make the decision that you're like, okay, we will try this journey of forgiveness. Then you can move into these steps. So you're in luck though, because like I said today, we were talking exactly that, how to start to forgive someone. So here are 7 steps to take when engaging in forgiveness. Let's jump right in because like I said, there are 7. Usually 2 more than what I usually talk about. Okay, 7 steps, 7 great steps. They're kind of in order. I'm pretty sure I put them in order of the way that you should take them if you decide to go through with this. Oh, also, my spiel that I give every time. This is not a conclusive list. This list may not work for you. If it doesn't work for you, go to Google. It's your best friend and look it up. Look up how to forgive someone. Someone in a relationship, how to forgive someone in a friendship, how to forgive someone at work, your boss, whoever. Doesn't matter. More keywords. You're going to niche down on what you want to learn. So, because I'm not saying that like this will fix your problem. It might. I hope it helps in the least. It's just what I've learned and what I've researched and what other people have told me. And yeah, that's my spiel. So anyway, this is not conclusive. Do your own research if you find that this is not helpful enough for you. Let's jump in. Number 1, acknowledge how you were hurt. So like say out loud, like what was the pain? I felt, I'm trying to think of like, well, okay, like let's like give a foggy example of what happened today, just so I don't hurt anyone's feelings. But it would be like, I felt hurt when you said that you hate what's happening or you hate the event that we have to attend to. Okay, great. And it meant a lot to you, right? You're like, to me, right? Sure, in this example, this event meant a lot to me. And this person was like, I hate this whole experience, but I'm here. Okay. And that's tough, right? When you go with someone and you're like, I'm excited about this. And you're like, well, why are you going? And they're like, oh, well, you wanted me to go. Okay, great. So acknowledge how you were hurt. Share your feelings. Again, you can just do this like by yourself to say it out loud or with someone you trust that is open to you sharing. And when I say open to you sharing, I mean that if you're going to vent to someone, ask them first. Don't just like word vomit on someone and be like, oh, wait, I'm sorry. Was it okay that I shared that? Because what are they going to say? What are they going to say to that? They're going to be like, oh, no, it wasn't okay. I mean, hey, if they're real and honest, that'd be great. But most likely they're going to be like, oh, it's okay. No, just ask. Just ask first. So lay it all out so you can get it off your chest and out in the open. Be brutally honest. So if even it's something that like kind of is embarrassing because you're involved in the sitch of how it went down negatively, be honest. Get it out. Acknowledge it. Because you can't go anywhere else until you actually are open and honest and acknowledge what happened and how you were hurt in as much detail as possible, again, by yourself or with someone you trust. Then you can move forward. Okay, number 2, accept that you can't change what happened. This has to be number 2 because it's important. And actually, that message is shadowed within all of the next steps because you have to realize you can't change what happened. What is the point of obsessing over what happened when you can't change it? There's no point. That's the answer. Hindsight is 20/20. But going through every single point where things could have been better or different won't help as much as you think it will. It won't. It's actually a waste of time. It's not very efficient. Excuse me, I hiccuped all out of nowhere. Okay. I always say, so in regards to this, really understanding that you can't change what happened, I always say to glean the necessary learning lessons from your mistakes and failures, right? If you're not new here, you've heard me say that at least once in whatever episodes you've listened to so far. And this is similar. Just take whatever is necessary to learn from this experience and move it along. You can't change the past, and obsessing over it won't make you feel better. And if you think it will make you feel better, I want you to mentally take a step back and examine the fact that if you have been going over it over and over and over, I want you to tell me in all honesty, even just in your mind, you don't say it out loud if you don't want to. Is it making you feel better? Is it? I don't think it is. I really don't think it is. It's not. We're just going to say it's not, because it's not. You can lie to yourself and say, it's kind of making me feel better. Sure. But it's not. In the long run, it's not. It's not making you feel better. So it's unnecessary. So you just need to accept that you cannot change what happened. You have to figure out a way to move forward or you will stay stuck. Number 3, let go of being correct about whatever happened. This is like one of the most difficult things for me because I like being right. I tell people in a joking fashion, but usually it's like 10% joking, 90% true, that I am 95. Did I change it? I think I knocked it down to 90%. I tell people I am 90% correct most of the time in regards to things that deal with my family. And that means that like if I'm in the house and I'm at home or my family members ask me a question, 90% of the time I will be correct. And it's like this egotistical, full of myself kind of thing that I'm working on, guys. I promise. But it's because I like to ingest a lot of information and understand stuff, and I have a good memory most of the time. And so when someone asks me a question in my family, I'm like, oh yeah, I know the answer. But sometimes having that attitude and knowing that I can be right a lot of the times will get me in trouble because I want to extend that to so many other things to other people and be like, oh, well, I'm right though. Like you hurt me and this was this and this and this happened and you shouldn't have, and that's why I'm right. And I don't accept any answer that you are going to say. It's really something gross. I can say that. I mean, it's really not. It's not what we're looking for. It's not the mindset or the communication or the words that we're looking for. You got to let go of being right of what happened. The other person may feel bad about what happened, or they might not. Who knows? I mean, you'll probably know. But I mean, like, it's going to be either or. And regardless of which one it is, you obsessing over how right you are about what happened still won't change anything. Okay? Or maybe not even how they feel about it, like whatever their part in is. Because even if you tell them and you're like, no, I'm right, they might still be like, well, I don't believe you, or I don't accept that. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. If you want to just like sit with the fact that you know in your heart that you're right, that's fine. But pushing it on to everyone else is not going to change anything. And I'm here to tell you that you're not going to get a trophy if you are found to be right and correct in what happened in the experience that you had. So you're not winning any awards. You're not getting a trophy. It doesn't matter. Let go of being correct because it's not going to help you solve the problem and move past it. Okay, number 4. Release the need to punish and control them. Again, a difficult one because I'm a control freak and also I want them to pay. I want justice to be served. Friends, it's silly. But I can admit that. Like, honestly, I know it's silly. And it's a struggle. But we need to release that. We need to release that idea. We don't like punishing them and controlling them. It's not it. When I want to punish someone for something bad that they did to me, like if I'm like really considering it, which I kind of was today with my interaction with wanting to hold a grudge, I try to consider if that is what I would want from them to do to me when I inevitably screw up. Because sometimes people will hurt us and it's a screw up, it's a mess up, it's a mistake. They weren't trying to do it. And I like to think, okay, well, would they treat me that way? And even if the answer is yes, you should still be like, oh, but I don't really know for sure. Maybe they're feeling like forgiving on that day. I don't know. Feeling nice on that day. So regardless, you need to release the need to punish and control them. Also, the power you believe that you have from holding this experience over them, it's not going to help you heal, but it will keep you stuck in the pain because, again, you're trying to hold it over them. You're trying to be like, hey, you messed up. You're a terrible person. You should treat me this way to make me feel better. And it'll never be enough because you're continuing to ruminate in the thing that happened to you. and you're still like engaging in that experience, you're reliving it over and over and over and over. It's like Groundhog Day. Great movie, great Bill Murray movie. But it's like Groundhog Day. And so you're not going to get past it until you actually decide to get past it. So release the need to punish them and control them. Number 5, try on a different perspective. Now, literally, this is the best piece of advice I can give you for your whole life. I promise you. I promise you. Try on a new, different perspective. But in the context of talking about forgiveness, try to see what happened from their point of view, really anyone's point of view, even if you tell this story to someone else or someone else was a witness to like what happened. Try to see it from anyone else's point of view. Try to understand how it happened the way that it did. And you can even like throw in a little bit of empathy, sympathy in there if you'd like. It's probably going to happen. And this doesn't make what they did okay. I want you to know that. Just because you're seeing it from their perspective doesn't mean it's okay. But it helps you better understand their context and not hold on to the hurt as hard, as much, because you're like, oh, well, maybe the reason that they don't want to, for my silly example of like an event being really important to me and not being really important to someone else that's going, it's like, okay, well, maybe they had a bad experience at a similar event. Or maybe I didn't ask them deeply enough if they were going to be comfortable going or not. Or maybe they're just having a bad day, right? And their reaction is from that, not necessarily totally the event that we're attending, right? So just like kind of try to shift your perspective a little bit. I know it can be really difficult when you're high on emotion and you're just like upset. Try to let yourself calm down a little bit and then be like, okay, how can we see this from a different perspective? Ask someone else to help you if you feel like you're incapable of doing so, because it'll kind of help you get out of the box and separate yourself from the problem to really understand, or the experience, the altercation, whatever. It'll help you see it a little bit better. Number 6, remember, we only have 7, so. Number 6, I put it at the end because you should still go through all these steps before you get to this one, is decide if you still want a relationship with this person. Like I said at the beginning, you're not obligated to forgive them, and you're not obligated to still be their friend. You're not. I think I mentioned that at the beginning. And you don't have to continue in that relationship. You don't. You really don't have to. I gotta ask yourself, do you want to mend things or do you want to go your separate ways? Your answer might be different from the other person. Just keep that in mind. But it doesn't matter though. You get to decide what you want to do for you. Just don't let this decision be made in the height of your emotions. So if you're really, really upset and you're like having just experienced it, don't decide then like, okay, well, we're never gonna be friends again. Or we're not going to be together anymore. Like really allow yourself some time to not even necessarily make the decision of forgiveness, but to understand how you truly feel about it once you come down off of that emotional high. You know, how emotions are just so, they're like really up here and you got to let them settle a little bit and be like, okay, how do I really feel? In the moment it can be super heightened and more than it needs to be. Overextending for sure. At least that's how I am. So really consider that. But you get to decide. And even if they're like, oh, I still want to be in this relationship with you, and you're like, no, sorry, dog, that's just like not my thing, then go with that. Don't let them manipulate you or change your mind if that's really truly how you feel. And then do it. Either try to mend it or move on. Move forward. Number 7, and the last one that I have for you today is tell them or don't. So you're not required, again, you're not really required to do anything you don't want to do. There's just oftentimes repercussions that come with that. But you're not required to tell someone you forgive them. Like, you don't have to. I even feel like sometimes when you tell someone you forgive them and maybe they didn't even realize they did something bad, then it seems really condescending. It's like, oh, I forgave you. Oh, well, for what? Anyway, so like make sure it's not a situation like that. It's like whatever you're comfortable with. But you're not required to forgive them. It's your decision to make whether you do or don't. If you do decide to mend the relationship, I would say that you should, because if they know that they screwed up or there was something they did and it caused all this, chaos and problems, and you're in a position where you are trying to decide if you forgive them or not, and then you should let them know that you did, so that can help to mend the relationship. But it's your choice. So if you decide to part ways and you don't want to be a part of their life anymore, or you don't want them a part of yours, but you do decide to forgive them, you don't necessarily need to tell them, but maybe they'll ask you if they need that kind of closure, and you can tell them if you want or not. It just whatever. But yeah, tell them or don't. That's the final tip and step I have for you, because you might find that it's important for closure, or you might not care and you just want to just do it and then be like, okay, on to the next. Totally fine. Either way. So thank you so much for listening to the Real Positive Girl podcast, again with me, Sabrina. The one announcement that I didn't tell you at the top of the show, which I should have, and it's actually an issue, is that I am running a free emotional reflection journaling challenge. And if you go to the link in my IG, you can sign up there. I will see if I can put the link here in the show notes. You can always send me an email if you would like to be a part of that. Or if you sign up for the newsletter before Monday, June 20th, you will get another reminder email that challenge is starting, probably on Sunday. Anyway, if you want more information about that, let me know. It's just I can only put so much stuff in the show notes because I still want you guys to have notes and then announcements, but notes come first. So if you want to learn more about that, you can check on my Instagram, because I have a reel up, I have a link in bio, and I'm talking about it just about every single day until it starts. So, and it's free. But anyway, so check the show notes for all the links and all the details and all the things you want. Thank you so much for listening to the Real Positive Girl podcast, again with me, Sabrina. Until next time, have a good one, and I will see you all next time. Bye, everyone.